All right, so for this video, for today, we're just going to be reviewing factoring. And this should be something that I believe you already did in this class, and definitely already did in Algebra 1. So hopefully this will be an easy day or an easy lesson for you. And if you want to think of this as factoring is the backwards way to do FOIL or box method. So let's just review that quick. So box method or FOIL would be where you have two polynomials multiplied together. So here's x plus 2 times x plus 7. The FOIL method, or double distributive property you might know it as, would be where you take x times x and then x times 7, write them out, and then do 2 times x and 2 times 7, and then combine all your like terms. Okay, box method is where you do the same thing. So you're going to put your x and your 2 on the outside, and your x and your 7 on the other side, and then you're filling in these boxes by multiplying. All right, and then to get your final answer, you're combining like terms. So you have your x squared, you're combining your 7 and your 2 to get 9 in the middle, and there's nothing to combine with 14, and so you'd have your answer. Okay, factoring is backwards way to do that. So factoring is starting with your answer, your trinomial here, and trying to figure out what two factors got multiplied together to get x squared plus 9x plus 14. And the way we did that was we thought backwards, and we thought, where did this number 14 come from? And this number 14 came from multiplying your two numbers together, your two n numbers in the factor. And so in this case, I did 7 times 2, and I got 14. So when I start thinking about what numbers could be here and here, I have to think of numbers that multiply to 14 to make this part of the box work. And then how do I know what options to use, right? Because 14 could be 7 and 2, or it could be 1 times 14. The way I narrow that down even further is that to get this middle term of 9x, I had to add these diagonal boxes together. And those diagonal boxes are just the same as the factors, right? So this is 7 and this is 7, and this one's 2 and this one's 2. So we found out that the middle term is just adding our two numbers together. So after doing a lot of practice, we kind of, cut this way shorter and say, okay, what numbers multiply to 14 and add to 9? So that's what this means here. Find factors of C, that's numbers that multiply to the last one, and sum to B, which means they add to the middle term. And you don't have to make a t-chart. I taught a t-chart for a little bit, and then once you guys start catching on, we stopped doing that. But yeah, so that's how you factor. This example up here, we would be the long way. We'd be trying to find numbers that multiply to 30 and add to 13. So first thing to do would be find numbers that multiply to 30. So it'd be like 30 and 1, 2 and 15, 3 and 10, and 5 and 6. Okay, so there's a little list there. And you have to pick the ones that add 13. So clearly that's going to be my 3 and my 10. So this is going to factor into an x plus 3 and an x plus 10. All right, so there's a quick example for you. Let's do a couple more here. This one, what multiplies to 16 adds to 8. So factors of 16 is 1 times 16, 2 times 8, and 4 times 4. Okay, we got to pick the set that adds to 8. Clearly, the 4 and the 4 are the two numbers that add to 8 in this example, so we would need to have an x plus 4 and an x plus 4. You could also write that as x plus 4 to the power of 2, like this. That would be fine as well. All right, I'm guessing you guys are going to be really good at factoring. So for the negatives, you could have been taught the negatives in many different ways. Okay, first way is doing it, I guess you could say the long way, writing out all of the factors. Okay, so anything that multiplies to negative 36, 1 and negative 36, or you would have negative 1 and positive 36. So for each set of factors, you kind of have two of them where each number is negative. And then it's take forever to write all these out, but oh my gosh. Now I gotta move all this stuff to go backwards. Can we go backwards this way? Sorry. This is so frustrating. There we go. Nope, I want to be slideshow. There we go. I want to be text. Okay. And then would be 2 and negative 18. Negative 2, positive 18. Oh my gosh, there's too many factors. 3 and negative 12, negative 3, positive 12. 4 is a factor 2. Great. Negative 9, negative 4, positive 9. And to be honest, I'm going to stop because I already found the answer there. But 6 and 6 are the other two factors. I stopped because 4 plus negative 9 is negative 5, and that's the number that I needed. So I know that my factors are x plus 4 and x minus 9. Also, not sure if Mr. Lawfer or your Algebra 1 teacher taught you how to use the calculator to find factors of a number, but I do this in my quad class. If you go to y equals and you type in your number at the end, your c, so in this case it's negative 36, and you put divide by x after it, you can go to the table, so second graph, and this gives you your list of all of your factors. All right, so you've got, like here, you've got 2, 1 and negative 36, 2 and negative 18, and you can scroll down through these, and you're only going to be looking at the ones that are whole numbers, all right? So you can scroll down through these until you find ones that add to negative 5, and I already passed them because they were up here. You can also scroll up past 0, all right, and it might be easier to find them up above 0, but this gives you a whole list. Makes it a little easier for some of the larger numbers. All right, I'm going to kind of go through these quickly. Again, I'm expecting you guys are pretty good at this. Numbers that multiply to 18, add the negative 9 would be negative 6 and negative 3. All right, so the examples that have... Let's go back again. The examples that have a positive number at the end and a negative number in the middle means both of your factors have to be negative. The only way to multiply to a positive and add to a negative is for both numbers to be negative. So you've got to be careful there. I've got to be really careful because I keep clicking out of this. It's because I got to hit this button. There we go. So this answer is negative 6 and negative 3. The next one is not negative 6 and negative 3. It's negative 6 and negative 4. Because those are two numbers that multiply to 24 and add to negative 10. All right. So those are the, I guess you could say, the easy ones. The difference of perfect squares, that just means that your middle term is 0, so you have to add to 0. And that just means you have to have the same number, except one's going to be positive and one's going to be negative. All right, so the x squared minus 49 would be 7, negative 7. Oh my goodness. I should stop. You know what? I'm going to stop. So that's it for this video. I'm done. And you guys are done.